Hello everyone, I'm the Whiskey Enthusiast. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about my journey in this thing called Benromach Champions. I'm pretty sure you saw it on my socials. I'm just going to share what I lived through and what it was and what an experience it was. I'm going to drink some Benromach. I'm just going to drink the 10, but I'm going to brush over how these are as well. And then I'll show you some images and some videos of what I been doing there. So in July there was a competition ran by Benromach called the Benromach Champions, and they basically said we want our friends to apply to this competition with a 60-second video, which you can see on my channel. I'll put the link up there, telling us which Benromach is their favorite and why. I picked the cask strength version. I was on holiday, so I didn't have any Benromachs with me, and I figured, you know what the hell, I want to join. Benromach is one of my favorite distilleries. I love them, so let's join. And I put the cask strength one, and I won. Yeah, that was a good day, receiving that email. But I'll put the link up there, and I'll put the link up there for the Benromach cask strength videos I did review them. So what it is, it's before we went there, we didn't know a lot of the details, so they picked 3 people. It was me, Martin from Hungary, and Sarah from Edinburgh. I think 60 people applied, so it's pretty good. They said, we want our friends to come to our distillery. We want to show them how we distill, how we do what we do, and we want them to go out there and spread the word of Benromach if they want to. Now, I understand this is a bit of a touchy topic. Am I going to be biased or not? Fair enough question. Steve, who's the I don't know if he's the brainchild, but he's behind the marketing team of this Champions thing. This is the first time they're doing it. They're going to do it every year. So I said it at Vin's 8-year YouTube WhiskeyTube hijack, roundtable hijack. Apply next year, definitely. It was the best whiskey experience I had. But Steve was saying you wouldn't be here if you didn't like Benromach, like you wouldn't apply if you didn't like Benromach, so that's out of the way. We want you to spread the word of Benromach, sure, but if also you don't like a product, we also want you to say that as well, because that gives us good data from people who are enthusiastic about whiskey. Fair enough. But Benromach is an easy brand to sell, an easy brand to champion. We all love it. I mean, most of us do love it. They do make fantastic whiskey. And they have this giant, Gordon and MacPhail, behind them, which is just like probably the best guys in cask management, which I'll come back to later. So fair enough, if you think I might be a bit biased, I might be. I don't know. I will always have a heartfelt connection to Benromach now that I didn't before. I loved it as a whiskey, but that's it. Like, I love a lot of whiskeys. Sure, it's probably up there for me, but now that I spent time at the distillery, I saw how they're doing it, the painstaking situation they're in, and the craftsmanship, and meeting the people behind it. I can't help but feel a good connection with them. Hopefully, though, I will be able to keep my palate away from my heart and tell you what I actually feel like. But full disclosure, yeah, that's it. With that out of the way, let's dive in. So Benromach Champions, and as I sip from my Benromach glass, you probably had 10. This is their core offering. This is their standards. This is their beginning offering. It's 43% ABV. First fill sherry and bourbon cask. Benromach only uses first fill cask, non-chill filtered, even though it's 43%. So you get craft presentation. When I asked about that extra 3%, they were like, oh yeah, bane of our existence. But they have the contrast range for that, which is incredibly well priced, which I'll get to. But Benromach 10, that Benromach characteristic smoke, hint of funkiness, nice bourbon sweetness with sherry spice, fresh, sweet, and smoky. On the palate, that funkiness continues. Nice ginger notes, roasted nuts, chocolate, sweet, spicy. It's a pretty whiskey. It's very easy to drink. Not a beginner's whiskey. If I'm being honest, it's not a beginner's whiskey. It's a bit funky. There's a reason why they call it the Springbank of Speyside. And I did ask about this to the guys and said, like, guys, what do you think when they say that? They said, we take it as a compliment. Springbank is an amazing distillery. And if we're doing something that resembles Springbank, great, you know. It means we have good character and people are appreciative. So, starting, Benromach Champions. A little bit of history of Benromach. It's in a small town called Forres. It's just like 25-30 minutes from Inverness. It's a pretty area. It has a lot of greeneries, and that's the distillery with its distinct red chimney. History, 1898, it gets formed. 1900, it starts whiskey production. Up until 1980s, it just closes down like a few times. And their last filling was in 1983 by this guy called Donald MacDonald. Fantastic name. And in 1993, Gordon MacPhail buys the place from Diageo with the stock. After 5 years, coincidentally, after 100 years, Benromach opens again in 1998 with then Prince Charles, now King, signing the cask. And Gordon MacPhail shook the whiskey world last year, saying that they won't be buying any more new makes from any other distilleries than they own. They also started the Cairn distillery, which I drove in front of, but I didn't go in. But they're not going to release anything until the Cairn produces, well, bottles of 15-year-old. Inside info. Yes. Now, the photos, that cask that Prince Charles signed at that time was bottled as 20-year-old. And that cask head is now in the visitor center. His signature is still lightly visible, as you can see these photos. And that guy explaining something in the red shirt and red overalls to Prince Charles is Keith, who's now the distillery manager, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Benromach is lightly peated. In general, it's 20 to 25 ppm, and there's some photos out there. And like I said, exclusively first fill cask maturation. And yeah, so this is a video of me arriving. I arrived from Inverness. I got picked up. This is to show you the size of their warehouses. They're always expanding. Of course, they have more warehouses for, you know, they keep the casks for Cairn. They keep some for Gordon MacPhail. It is like a 25-minute drive from Elgin, which Gordon MacPhail also has a massive warehouse. And honestly, in Elgin, you feel like if you're part of Gordon MacPhail family, you feel like royalty. There's a power behind that, and I felt it. So anyway, this is the visitor shop. You see the 40-year-olds. This is their core range. There's a Gordon MacPhail bottle there. This is the exclusive. I'll get back to it. I'll tell you about it when I had it, and some stuff, some Glencairns. "21-year-olds." Just as you can see, you can watch the show, and when it finishes. It's not a big place. It's not a big place. As you can see, there's no cafe, but they have their gins as well. They have their 4 styles of gins, and this nice wall of they have this whiskies and stuff. And yeah, the latest gin is called the Red Door gin, and the latest one was from the botanicals they can get around the Highlands, which was also nice. And yeah, Rebecca greeted me at the distillery, who was my point woman at the distillery. We talked a lot online through emails, and she gave me a nice crisp Red Door, their new lead gin and tonic. It was very pretty. I'm not a massive gin fan. That was nice. Yeah, some photos of the distillery. It was a beautiful day when I arrived. So this was a Tuesday afternoon. And yeah, that's it. What they say is Benromach has 4 ingredients always in there. It's their logo. I'll show you the bottle of the Benromach 10, and it's here. It's the 3 ingredients that you get in all whiskey: barley, water, yeast, and then the 4th one is people. And it is true. Honestly, it was like a family. These parts, I'm biased. I like people. I like them. I think this whole whiskey thing, yeah, drinking whiskey is nice, but it's better shared, and it's better shared with whiskey people. That's why I love Whiskey Tube. That's why I love this community. Okay, as you can see, some nice photos of the distillery. It's a nice area, isn't it? It's some trees, some old trees, and that's me.
Hello,
we can watch this. I explain it.
As you can see, that's the iconic chimney, and we're just gonna do some distillery tours, go to the warehouse, and it's just gonna be a beautiful day. That's where the warehouses are, and that's where the still houses. You can go in directly there. Behind me, there is the gin distillery, and there we go. As we go there, visitor house, and goes all the way to the other warehouse. And yeah, it's a pretty day. And yeah, come on guys, I can continue as this, no problem. And what we're having is wanna say hi? There you go. Yeah, that's Rebecca and Martin. Yeah, hi. Okay.
Okay, and that night we went to the hotel, which we stayed in, Sunning Hill in Elgin. Has a fantastic whiskey bar, good food as well. We went there and we met with Jamie. Sarah's train was late, so Sarah joined us quite late, just before dinner. But Martin was already at the distillery, so we met with him. And Jamie came. Jamie is the cask manager of Benromach and Gordon & MacPhail, so he knows his stuff around cask. He's a fantastic guy. He's about to get married soon, I think. And he was telling me, because I was asking like, how much, do you disturb the casks a lot? Every 6 months, every year, what do you do? And he said to me, this is like this kind of pride and this kind of, it's almost cocky, what he said. He said, unless they see some like leakage that is so out of ordinary, they don't even look into the casks for 7 years. 7 years, they know their casks are so good, they only check it after 7 years, unless like there's a big leakage. That is a ballsy statement, but hey, Gordon & MacPhail, they know casks if they know anything. So next morning, we're walking to the warehouse with Murdo and Rebecca. And yeah, those are some of the warehouses. We're gonna do some shooting now. Yeah, that's behind. It's a big area. It's an old distillery. So yeah, that's Sarah, that's Martin, and that's Rebecca and Murdo. Murdo is the head distiller after Keith. So that's that's one of the warehouses, some Benromach casks, and this is the crew. So basically, we had a film crew all around us all the time, and this initial one was about us telling them how excited we are and what we expect from this, what we're hopeful for. So it was quite interesting you talk to Chris. Chris is asking you questions and you look at Chris, but the camera is always there. So, there will be some videos coming up. And by the time I finish this, if there any came up, I'll add it to the link as well. Yeah, that 2000 cask has a nice story. So when in the year 2000, Keith made distillery manager. So January 1st, 2000 morning, Keith and then distillery manager Donald MacDonald, they came together, they filled that cask and they signed it together, and Keith became distillery manager after Donald retired. So that's a nice story. It's me with the cask. Then we went to the cask filling station. That was very nice. That's behind is the big vatting. So when the distilling finishes, it's in that vat, and then they're added to that cask. That machine was quite new, so they weren't having issues, but they were trying to figure out the numbers and stuff, and we had some fun stuff. Martin's exploded. Sorry, dude, I have to tell this. It was hilarious. It just went everywhere, new make. And yeah, so this is Callum showing us how to do it.
No, so
That would be great. We're also going to stop in about 15 minutes because they need air. We can't run the same thing at the moment, so we stop at 15 minutes, but hopefully by that time we've got enough footage, but you can always come back and do the water.
As you can see, after he fills, he moves it to the other, he puts the bung hole. Then he weighs it.
All right.
Just do exactly what you're doing.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
And then he rolls it out to be put into stowing. Then what we did was stencils. So they gave us these things in black ink, and they gave 3 casks in front of us. We put the numbers on. So mine was 1716 cask number, and we put our name on and signed it. So I took the photos of the guys. They didn't take photo of me. Sarah and Martin, shame on you guys. But we had the family, we have the camera crew, so they took a photo of me doing it. And then this is me filling my cask, tasting my whiskey, and hammering the bunghole close.
Before we hit the cask, just drag it in. Press down. Take the column in. Flick up. Drop. Up again and fill. And then into the middle. Take it to the middle. Yep. Wait over here. And you'll try your whiskey. That's good, really good. Really good. Perfect.
Yeah, that's me smelling. And then we took some photos with our cask. So my cask is now sleeping in the Benromach warehouses. I don't know what they're gonna do with it in 10, 12, 15 years, but I'll be waiting for, obviously not the whole cask, but maybe a little sample. Then we had a meeting with Keith. Unfortunately, Keith had COVID, so he couldn't come to the distillery, but we had a 1-hour meeting at one of the rooms. He was talking about the history, and he was saying, like, at the tasting, just taste anything, ask Lizzie, like, taste anything, and yeah, it was just nice. Then it was my time to distill. So this is the still house, 2 stills, wash still, spirit still, and yeah, they have 13 washbacks, and they do 3-day and 5-day fermentation. So 4 of them are 3-day, the other 9 are 5-day fermentation, and they mix it together. That's the obligatory photo. As you can see, this is mash tun filling with grist, and then the whole process. They explain it better. This is the moment when the hot water just turns into, the grist is coming with it. As you can see, it gets sloshier. It smells amazing. It smells like hot barley water. It just smells comforting. Yeah, this is the lauter tun just turning, mixing it. Yeah, that's Mary getting the grist. Whoop, it filled it. So 3 times of water and 3 times of grist, different temperatures of water. That's basic distilling. So then the problem is, it's such an intensive thing. So they work 24/7, 4 shifts and 6-hour shifts. So they have to think, what time is the cutting point of from heads to hearts? When do we charge the stills? When do we empty one of the washbacks? When do we fill the mash tun? When's the second filling? When's the third filling? And then when are the washbacks ready? There's these things that you throw into 4 different areas to get, and then you have the hydrometer to talk about what kind of alcohol we have. It was such extensive work, and they're in separate buildings. So this guy, well, they don't run, I ran. They're so calm and collected, and they have to know, they have to follow through, and then they have these books, they put their numbers in, and then but they're so calm. I mean, I went to Glenfiddich, a powerhouse, a massive place. It's just with a button, cut points, it's all electronic. No one's just walking around. This place, it's a lonely job. One distiller for 6 hours charges the stills, finishes the distilling, charges the stills even more to finish off the distilling, and then empties the washbacks, fills the washbacks, fills the mash tun, empties the mash tun, gets ready for the next round of distillation for the next distiller for the next 6 hours. It's hard job. There's some fermentation things here. This is a bit more active one. Yeah, that's the thing I talk about. You throw, it's heavy, and then you fill it with wort. And then these ones, you have to empty it with a fire hose. It takes time as well. It goes from that small hole. Some photos because the guys are there. The guys are there. Honestly, we were running around under the distiller's feet. Everyone's working there. It's a working distillery with camera crew, and everyone was just so relaxed, happy, and accommodating. It was nice. It was really nice. Okay, so that's the grist that goes to the farmers. That's the chimney. That's 98 meters tall, because if it was 100, they'd have to have safety and regulations and stuff. So while I was there, we finished the hard cut and went into the tails. Then we went on to the tasting. Yes, it was fantastic. So we're with Susan, and we tasted the 10, 15. 15 is beautiful. It's just gingerbread, man, you know. 21, not my thing. I don't think it fits the Benromach style much. It's very light. It's a beautiful whiskey, but I wouldn't go for it. Now, that distillery exclusive, it's a first fill virgin oak, 19 years, cask strength. And you would think virgin oak, 19 years, that cask strength, that's just going to be a spice bomb. It's going to be overpowered. But no, it was super creamy, super coconutty, blended in with the spice. It was honestly a fantastic, fantastic whiskey. And I had many virgin oaks from Benromach. And the next day, while cameras were on me, I said something inadvertently. I said, that should be your motto. I mean, this virgin oak is amazing as well. You guys are nailing it. So Benromach, the nailers of virgin oaks. And the moment I said it, the oaks went a bit, and then they're like, they laughed, but they said, yeah, we're not going to put it. But yeah, but that was very pretty. Then we tried the contrast range, which contrast range talks more about the cask play or the barley used or the peat used. So the organic was beautiful. The virgin oak was beautiful. They're both very creamy. The organic barley comes from Keith's brother-in-law's farm. And the air-dried and kiln-dried, we tried them together. I like the air-dried on the nose more than the kiln-dried, but I like the kiln-dried more on the palate than the air-dried. So that's a nice little experiment. And we also tried this one, the double matured 12-year-old in Bordeaux red wine cask. It's 46% ABV, as with all contrasts. Now, this one is nice, but it's a bit too sweet for me. 5 years, it's double matured, it's not a finish. 5 years in Bordeaux red wine cask. I think the cask takes over the Benromach character a bit too much. I know people like it, but for me, I like my Benromach a bit more Benromach-y. As like this one, this doesn't exist anymore. It's not in their range, but if you can find it, I highly recommend it. It's their Caragold malt, 46% ABV. This is 11 years of age, fully ex-bourbon. One of the best Benromachs I had. It's so fresh, so creamy, but it's just nice vanilla smoke, and with the, oh yeah, it's like a barley field. It tastes as it looks. It's yellow and fresh and nice. Okay, as you can see, we're bit enjoying ourselves. We drank a bit, and then we finished off with the 40-year-old, and yeah, that was really nice. A bit heavy, a bit brooding, as you would expect a 40-year-old to be, but it was pretty. It was pretty.
For tasting, that's where we were. We tasted the 40-year-old. It was an amazing one, and I spent my whole day down there, up there basically, distilling and learning, and it was just an incredible experience. I would just like to thank the Benromach team for this amazing experience, and that's where we spend most of the time. We just hang out there and learn about today's brief, and that's Martin right there. Martin, say hi. There you go. Can you see him? Yeah, that's Martin right there. And that's the still house, like I said. Today is our second day at Benromach. Tomorrow we have another day coming up. We're gonna do more tasting. We're gonna do more cask explorations. The warehouses are just down there. That way, it's behind the place. And we did some cask filling today, which was an experience on its own. We signed our own casks. We filled our own casks, and you know, we used the new machinery. It was a bit tricky at first, but it was fantastic. And I'm representing. Check me. Yeah, there you go. No, it was all around fantastic experience. I am so lucky to be here as a Benromach champion, and I also would like to thank you guys for all the support that I've been getting throughout the socials, throughout YouTube. Honestly, it's mostly because of you that I'm here. Thank you so much. I may have played a little part of it, but other than that, I'm having a great time. And I'll show you the place. It's a beautiful place. It's a lot of greenery.
Yes, so this is the third day now, the last day. The cask that Prince Charles signed was bottled such this in this box, but this is like a mock-up of it. It says 99.9% ABV. Obviously, I think there's tea in there or something. And that's Keith being upset about letting the cask go, but also enjoying his glass. Yeah, last day, this was Thursday morning, another beautiful day. I visited the gin distillery. That's pretty interesting. So the pot still goes and the alcohol vapor. So they put that thing in the middle. They put the botanicals in that middle bit, and the vapor infused the botanicals, and then you get your gin rather than steeping. So that was interesting, a bit more gentle. Then we visit the warehouse. We see some of the casks. And then here, Rebecca shows us how they see the fill level in the casks.
Yeah, what are we doing now?
So we're testing the cask to see how much angel share we've lost.
Yeah.
And you can hear when it starts to sound differently that that is where the spirit level will be. So up here it sounds pretty hollow. But down about here, it starts to sound very full. And this is how the guys come in and check.
Some more videos in the cask house, warehouse. It goes on. From that door, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. Then we go on to stowing. Ewan and I can't remember, I'll put his name up there. They show us how they stow. It's called stowing.
Hi guys. Hi. Hey. While one of us is hardworking, the others are just chilling. That's a first. For
Yeah, and then after that, we took some photos, and then we went up for more video shoots with Murdo in the distillery. Murdo's just telling us about the distillery. It's all for the, for the camera. And then we head to that room where we try some top secret stuff while being filmed. That was very, very exciting. Yeah, they took us to that red room afterwards. After we tried everything, they took us to that red room to give our opinion, give our thoughts on it. And that's Jill. She was also very, very nice. She's now moving to Holyrood Distillery. Also a fantastic place. Yeah, I can't talk about these things that I tried, unfortunately. But in due time, follow my socials and you'll see what they are. And then they brought us this. Now I can talk about this because this has been released. The 50-year-old. I mean, come on. Look at that bottle, watch this video, and I'll tell you about it. And that's me tasting the 50-year-old. And they also gave me this. I will do a review of the 50-year-old. It's, yeah, I mean, how lucky am I? Come on. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, I will do the review of this. It's 20,000 pounds a bottle, if you're interested. When I do the review, I'll tell you about it, but it was, yeah, it was probably the best whiskey I had. It was just ridiculous. It wasn't, not just because it was old. It wasn't old. It was elegant, dignified, but lively. It was crazy. I'll tell you about it when I do the review. Then we did some more top secret tastings and then went into the cask house to talk more about our experience, to finish it off, to finish our thoughts and videos and some photos. And of course, at the hotel at night, I gave Sarah some rakı, our Turkish national drink, and we had dinner with Murdo, Ross, and Steve, who's behind this whole, I think, idea with Rebecca and Jill. So that was fun. And here are some photos of me. So, guys, that was my journey with Benromach. Honestly, those 3 days were like a dream. Winning this competition was like a dream. It's the biggest thing probably happened to me in my whiskey journey. And I mentioned it in the video. It's also part thanks to you, all of you who watch me and comment on it. Thank you. I can't believe I'm standing here and talking about my time spent in one of the distilleries that I loved. To see how hard it is. Before this, I said, yeah, I could be a distiller, but it's such a hard job. And the guys are so oblivious about what they're doing. They're just doing their jobs, right? And that last night when we were having drinks and dinner with Steve, I was saying like, these guys are rock stars of the industry. For us to be a head distiller in Benromach is just crazy. And Steve was saying, yeah, these guys don't know if they're rock stars or not. They just do their jobs. And they're like, we just distill. They care about what they do, but they're not having these grandiose thoughts. They're doing what they're trained for and they're happy. And honestly, yeah, it was an incredible experience. I loved every single moment of it. I think I will cherish it forever. I made some lifelong friends in Sarah and Martin, but not just them. The distillery people, when I go there, and I will go back there, I know I'm going to be greeted as one of them. Yeah, so in that sense, I will be biased, but I will tell if I like a whiskey or not. And like I said, this is not necessarily for me. It's a bit too Cask overtook. It's a bit too sweet. But 10 is a beautiful whiskey. 15, Benromach shines. If you haven't had Benromach 15 before, definitely give it a shot. And on that note, I shall like to thank you. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It does mean a lot to me. And I will share more stories on my Instagram. Go check it out. And on my YouTube, on my socials. And I will do the review of the Benromach 15 in due time. But thank you for all of you, my subscribers, people who watch, people who comment, who made this journey possible, who made the Whiskey Enthusiast YouTube possible, and who at the end made my journey to Benromach possible. Thank you all. Thank you, Benromach, and I shall see you guys on the next one. Cheers.